Hi there. Yeah, Slothy again. I'm got my third video now, and I'm just going to show you one or two things I've been doing since the last video. You may have heard me mention the gold farm. Well, we're going to go up there and see how that's going. As you can probably see from my status bar down the bottom, I've got a lot of levels, and that's because my gold farm also acts as an XP farm, and it's pretty awesome. I just sat in the gold farm, farmed gold, and went away for a few hours and came back. 263 levels. Absolutely epic. But before we go there, I'm going to take you over to something I've been doing over in the farming area. Where are we? Oh yes. Not this farming area, this is the, well, my old farming area. It was a current farming area. I built this path. There we are. Nice gravel path. So you get the crunch crunch gravel sound, which is very good. I don't know if creepers make a crunch crunch gravel sound, but it would be good if they did, because that way they'd be a lot less able to sneak up on you. But what I've got here is this awesome new building. I was going to call it the woodshed. It's made out of stone and glass, but not because of what it's made from, but because of what it's for. This is a woodshed. I'll just switch that off for a second. The water will go away. These blocks here are operated by pistons. But I've got this strip of dirt in the middle, and this is where you plant trees. And in fact, let's just demo it, because a picture's worth 1,000 words, they do say. Let's do oak trees, because I'm currently quite keen on oak. Now, depending on whether you want oak for its wood or for its apples, will depend on how closely you plant the saplings. If you want just the wood, then you can plant them on every dirt block. If you want them for the apples, I would normally plant them every fourth block like this. Why? Well, that's because it gives more room for foliage, and of course you get apples from the foliage. One thing I have got to do, of course, is to go all the way back here and get some bone meal, because I'm too lazy to wait for it to grow on its own. You can let it grow on its own. That's a perfectly good way of letting it grow, but if you're impatient like me, you just come along here and bone meal them. Now, I built this because I've been doing pretty much this process, but I've been doing it outside, and I kind of lose track of time. It gets dark, and all of a sudden there's creepers and zombies and well, pretty much everything just trying to spoil your day. And of course trees create a fair bit of shade, so if you don't stand out there while they're growing, you'll still get done, because the I think, see what we can do, because the mobs will start to grow under the trees if they're too close together. And you just chop out all the wood, as you can see here, in the normal fashion. It's a lot easier because they're all in line and you've got no steps to go up and down, so you don't have to worry about that. Flat terrain, there's nothing to worry about, no gullies to drop into. You can just chop the wood out like this. Like this, you see, and it's all pretty good. You'll notice at the top there's a stone bar, and that stone bar, as you can see better from here, limits the height the trees can grow to. With oak trees, if you have more than 7 spaces, they run the risk of producing sort of giant oak trees, and giant oak trees are all very well, except the giant oak trees generate all these branches and things, and it just makes it difficult to chop them down. That's put it into oak mode, which is there. The difference between spruce mode and oak and beech mode, as you can see, is 1 block more height. Spruce trees will need 8 blocks to grow, so that's why I've got those on pistons. but birch and oak trees don't. So if I oops, put it on there. I should have put it into oak mode before I grew the trees, but I was lucky. I didn't get any branches this time. And as you can hear, there's some ticking going on. That's every time something drops off, like a sapling here, and comes down the water stream, it starts it ticks, which brings it back up into this hole here. As you can see, I've already got 16 saplings, and I've got an apple. There we go. When you've got them spaced like this, you'll probably get a couple of apples with each set of trees. You can plant them with whatever spacing you like. I think I tried it and found that every 4 gave you the most apples, but I might get away with every 3 for apples. How does it work? Well, down here we've got the redstone for everything really. This is the simple dropper. That's the dropper that the water channel takes the items into, is this one. And the comparator and repeater arrangement here operates the dropper clock, which goes all the way up and the dropper forces the there's 3 droppers, and the top one forces the items into the chest, just the bottom chest. But you don't generate so many items with a wood farm that you need more than a double chest. This is the redstone for all the pistons that push the block up to hold back the water flow. At the moment, as you can hear, the water is not being held back because the pistons are down, and you can see the water dropping. These blocks here are the the dirt blocks which the trees are growing on. If they were real trees, of course, you'd have roots all the way through here and it would break the redstone, but fortunately Minecraft trees don't have roots. If I come up here, we can jump off of here, shut the trapdoor so we don't fall in the hole, and let's just turn that off briefly. That'll bring the water back in. This switch here, as you see, just goes up this redstone tower and powers all of these pistons down the middle in much the same way as these pistons here are being pushed. And it just drops that bar down for the purposes of growing beech and spruce. And let's put the water back on so we can carry on getting the stuff. And you can sort of wander off and do other things, as I usually do. And it will still carry on collecting all the items, so you don't lose any of them. Which is the other big bind of the normal way of growing trees. You have to stand around and then run around and pick up the saplings, which are hard to see against the grass, of course. I'm going to go back in now because it's getting dark. And whilst you're safe in the dark, I don't want to be stuck in there till morning because you'll get bored. I've had a few comments from people I've talked to that I didn't actually show you the hobbit hole. Well, this was where I spawned originally, actually in the river, and I got washed down to here. And so I built my hobbit hole here, as you can see. I sort of extended it out because this end here was full of chests and all my stuff. This shouldn't be left open. No. And I put these sort of pot lamps in the roof because I thought that looked quite groovy at the time. That's a door that just goes out to the riverbank. I built a set of tunnels at this level to try and find all the caves and make sure they were lit up and so on. But this end here had my treasure chest with all my really valuable stuff in, and the crafting tables and furnaces. So this was my sort of main crafting area, and I had a bed over here. This is the entrance to my old mine, which I think we've shown you around before. It's just like a drop chute, so you just open there and drop in. I don't use that anymore. And this was the sort of tunnel I built once I'd finished building the tower, or once I'd finished enough of it to make it worth going there. As you can see, we just come through here, through this nice double door. Whee! And we're back to the old base here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to What have I got in my inventory? Oh, I've got all kinds of stuff in my inventory. So I'll just get rid of that, and then we'll go and see the gold farm. And that there, and I'll tell you what, we'll just shove all the rest in here. Yeah, and do. That's not actually going to be very useful, is it? Yes, it is. What I'll do is I will strip off as well. Well, hey, I don't want to take my... ironically, don't want to take my armour into nether in case I lose it. I shouldn't die, but if I do, I shall be very annoyed. So what would... No. There's no easy way of getting this stuff down onto your hotbar without putting it on. So we'll just put this one away. I've lost quite a lot of my armour. This complete set died in a rather regrettable incident, which I won't go into. No, I just walked into some lava. It was very, very embarrassing. But now here I am, as naked as a jaybird and without any food, but never mind. We'll go to the nether. With a bit of luck, I haven't annoyed the pigmen, so we should be okay in here. In fact, there's only one. Oh, hello, baby. Baby pigman. Right, and up we go. Onto the roof of the nether. This hole I drilled before the 1.8.2 update, which stopped you cutting holes in the bedrock, which forms the top of the nether. I actually learnt about it and built the hole in advance of the update. People that know me from the dataless822.net forum will know I did put a post in highlighting this fact. I did actually start building this gold farm long before the update came out, which broke the hole. In fact, I'd broken the hole before I found out that they were going to fix the bug that allowed you to do it. It's not a huge biggie. You can still ender pearl up onto the roof of the nether, and you can still build a portal to take you back to your base up here in the nether. You just can't use the portal to get back onto the roof of the nether. Oh look, still got XP from the last time I was playing with this, which probably means the pigmen are still angry, but just in case they're not, I'm going to do this. Now, this gold farm design, I ought to explain it really. I've been working on it so long, I kind of thought, had it in my head you would understand instantly how it works, but it's based on a design by Impulse SV, who has done all kinds of wonderful things. He's worth looking up. Basically, it's easy. You've got a train track that runs in and out. There's these 6 spawning pads, each of which is 12 by 32, and right at the end there's a pigman, and you throw a snowball at him to aggro him. He's kind of trapped, he can't come after you, but all his mates come to his rescue and spawn and all kinds of things, and drop, as you can see actually, drop down into this chute here. There's a crusher at the bottom. They get crushed and they give off XP, which you can pick up. And you also get golden nuggets, tons of them. I haven't actually done much with these yet. They need to be... and some gold ingots. This isn't as many gold ingots as I got. This is just... I haven't bothered to cube up into gold blocks some of the stuff I've already got. But it's all gold I've got from this farm though. It's very easy. Just jump in the minecart. This switch here will shut that door. It's not strictly speaking necessary to have a door to shut you in, but when I first built the farm I was having trouble getting killed, and the easiest way of protecting yourself of course is to stop the pigmen getting at you. At least when I get here I can prepare myself with a sword and kill the pigmen off. So what I do is I'll switch that on, get the snowball in hand, and you start going up the track. Yeah, it sounds like they're already aggroed from when I was last using it, but never mind. And you get to the end here, you throw that. With the advantage of using a snowball rather than anything else is that the snowball Oh yes. I think we'll just switch off the or certainly turn those down a little bit. Yeah. If you throw a snowball at a mob, it will aggro it, but it won't kill it. It won't do any damage. So I can continue to fall up and down this track, and I can continue to throw snowballs at the same mob without him eventually dying, which will be annoying because that means I'd have to entice another pigman into the thing, use another name tag to stop him despawning, and so on. As it is, this mob farm just needs a whole bunch of stone brick and glass, some railway track obviously, a minecart, and the only really difficult components are name tag. But with my villager trading system that I've got and I showed you in the last couple of videos, it's actually quite easy to get name tags now because you can buy them from clerics. So as soon as you've got yourself a cleric, you can trade with him, and you just go backwards and forwards as you see, and every time you go by they run along. You can sometimes see them, yes you can there. They run along and they fall off the end here, and they fall off the end because there's a trapdoor saying, hey, there's nowhere to go. So if I get out, because I've done enough of that for now, I've already got up quite a few levels actually. You can hear the dropper elevator here going like crazy, pushing all the stuff into these chests, and there's another one up here which takes the overflow and throws it into lava, so all that rotten flesh, because I've got this system's filled up with rotten flesh ages ago. And it's extreme production. You get a lot of XP, you get a lot of gold. I've got more gold now I know what to do with. And all the rotten flesh you can cope with. My plan is to put an enchanting area in here somewhere with some books and so on, so I can use my XP while I'm up here and then go back in the farm if I need to. Secondly, I want to bring a villager up here, and that'll be the slightly more exciting prospect. I'll probably just build a spiral railway around this post here, which initially I'll use obviously to bring the villager up here, or villagers. I might bring a couple of clerics up here just for safekeeping, and then of course once I've done that I can use the minecart myself to come up here, which is a bit easier than climbing a ladder. You can't create a water drop in the nether, but you can create a drop with a slime block at the bottom, as long as there's no pigmen spawning on top of it, of course. So that's how I'll probably get down again, and yeah, that's kind of what we want to do. If I've got a villager, a cleric up here, you see I can craft these gold chunks into gold bars, sell them to the cleric, get emeralds. I can also sell the rotten flesh to get emeralds, and usually with the with rotten flesh and gold, you can keep a cleric supplying you with emeralds for a long time. Eventually, both those trades will lock up, and you'll have to buy stuff in order to unlock those. But you know, you can buy useful stuff from a cleric. Glowstone is very useful. The Eyes of Ender are always useful. That's how I've got the Eyes of Ender to make these Ender chests, which I've got scattered around my world. And so I've got all my stuff here. Actually, what I'll do is I'll have a quick munch because I'm feeling hungry. And I'm very pleased with it. It did take me a long while to build. Well, not long to build, a long while to get it secured down so that I don't end up dying at the hands of pigmen. But so you can see I built this glass wall up here to because I was getting odd spawns behind here. I think I've fixed that now. I haven't seen one behind there for a while now. So, but this little platform here was designed for me to put my enchanting area and my clerics and that kind of thing. The clerics will go over here. I can just come out of here, do a bit of trading, get some emeralds, shove them in the chests over here, and job done. I can get all kinds of things. And then when I've got loads of emeralds, I can take them down. Lots of gold or whatever, I can take them down or put them in the ender chests. And bingo, job done. So this is my big project that I've had going at the moment. I've got no more big projects. So let's get back to let's get back home and let's go over what my new big project is, because, well, I've got a big project which sort of is on the scale of building a massive base, but also I've got a smaller big project. I've got a number of smaller big projects I want to build, and both of those, however, are going to take place out here. So what I will do, because I'm back in the overworld and I'm feeling a bit vulnerable, I shall just pop back down here, put on my armour. I was probably a little overzealous in taking it off, to be honest, but I always forget how you do this. Let's just put my armour back on. There we are. Don't know why. I picked up that on the minecart, didn't I? Yes. And I'll just take some arrows and a bow. I used my bow extensively. Why have I got a Bane of Arthropods sword? It's not the one I normally use. Oh, I know. I did that in the I was mucking about trying to craft things. That's my normal sword, isn't it? I think. Yes. Anyway, that's besides the point. I will take my Silk Touch because I'm used to having that on me, and my Fortune, and some torches, although I've got not many of them, and the other bits and pieces I have. Yeah, that's the one from the wood farm, and that's my proper one. Yeah, and that, there we go. I need to clear all this rubbish out. I shouldn't have all of that stuff in an ender chest. I can only sleep at night. That probably means it's day again. Right, I'm just going to go out here and I'm going to get shot at, I expect. Oh, let's see who left this door open. Well, that wasn't very clever. All night. Let's just check there's no creepers doing their job. No, I suspect they probably didn't spawn because I was in the nether. Right, well, there's two things I want to do. I've got a smallish project I want to undertake, and that's along here. First thing, I want a bridge. I'm fed up with swimming across this gap. I'm going to make a wooden bridge, which is why I'm making so much wood. And that will give us access to this area a bit easier than having to swim all the time. And then the big project is in this area is I'm going to wall all the way around here. I haven't decided exactly where the wall's going to go, but it's going to go all the way around here, across here and up to where the tower is, and then perhaps all the way around there, across the top of the Hobbit hole, and etc., and around across the river. Make a big area. This bit in the middle, I'm going to flatten out a bit, and I'm going to build a big village in here. The interesting thing is that the zombie purification area, which I've got down under the tower, actually is almost directly below. Which one is it? Almost directly below this tree here. If you come straight up from where the water chute is, I think it's this tree here. So it's very close to this farming area, which means I'll be able to build a little lift from the purification station to bring villagers that I want to keep up here. And what I want to do is build, let's say, well, for example, like a big church for all the clerics, or a monastery perhaps. I'm going to look at some designs and choose the ones I like the best. you know, and maybe a big sort of blacksmith shop with all the blacksmiths and tool crafters and that sort of thing in. And they'll all be in little cells, a bit like they are in the purification station, but I'm going to make them look a bit nicer so my villagers are happier. I think it's nice to have happy villagers. After all, I may be a ruthless dictator in my world, but I'm not all heartless, you know. And then I'm going to have farmers farming farms, and they can make potatoes and carrots and bread for me. Probably end up with far more than I actually need, because I've already got more food than I really need, to be honest. But, you know, you can trade with villagers for food. So I can get them to grow food, and then I can sell it back to them for emeralds. That sounds fair, doesn't it? Anyway. And, you know, and then have the toolsmiths and the Fletchers, and just have little areas of the village for all the different trades and crafts. And then once I've got all that sorted out, other villagers that I don't particularly want, I can just leave wandering around. As long as they can't escape, I don't mind. But, you know, I'm just make sure that I keep track of all of the villagers with decent trades. And as you can see, I've got a bit of filling in to do. There's a massive, great hole down here with caves and things like that. They'll need light. Well, they're lit up, but they need blocking off. And how the hell do I get it out? There we are. And as also, I'm going to build sort of towards the back here, where the reed farm is. One little job is to put an extra couple of levels on the reed farm, because once I get a lot of librarians and things like that, I'm going to need more paper and books to sell to the librarian. But as you can see, the reed farm is doing reasonably well. I've taken a lot out of here, and it's all coming back, but I do need it to be at least another couple of floors higher. That's the easy way of doing it. And then behind it, I might build a melon and pumpkin farm, because they're quite useful. Melons are useful for brewing, and pumpkins are useful for lighting and other things. So we'll do. Oh, it's getting dark. Look, it's going to be dark soon. Never mind, I'm nearly finished. And so we'll have a big sort of automated farm building here. And I also want to build a better way of doing cows, so that I can breed them and have the calves separated off automatically, so that I don't need to keep breeding them and then killing off all the ones that are in the breeding chamber and accidentally kill too many. So that's basically my plan for that area, and that's going to be quite a big project long term. I think I should probably start off building the bridge first, because it's a pain in the neck doing that. It's nice to be able to run all the way. Eventually, of course, this area here will get cleared off once the various farms have been moved over to there. I don't know about wheat. Most of the villager run wheat farms I've seen, I think the villagers get all the wheat and they turn it into bread, but I may be wrong on that, so let's quickly just shut that door. And that's another little project, actually. I want to change this to a button and have the door open for a period. I'll probably want to extend the pulse so that it opens for a bit longer than a button press. But just have the door open and then perhaps automatically shut a few seconds later. So I've got time to press the button and saunter through and wander off, and it will just shut itself. And that means I'll be able to have a button on the outside as well. Don't like pressure plates because mobs can operate those. But buttons are good because only you can operate buttons. Wooden buttons are great because you can shoot them with your bow, and they'll stay open until the arrow despawns. Anyway, look, it's got all dark and nasty out there. I've got some things to do, so thank you very much for watching this shortish video, and I will get back to you when I've got some more to show you. I might even start recording some of my building sessions if that sounds okay, and perhaps do time lapses and experiment with some of the more finer parts of the video editing art, because I'm a bit of a beginner at this, as you can probably tell. So until next time, cheerio!